magical guidelines to be followed. So when it comes to doing your magical workings, these are just a couple guidelines that will make your journey a lot more pleasant. The first thing to be understood is at a certain point, the only element that you can use is the wand, which is the element of fire, which essentially represents the world of Atziluth, which is the fire world, right? Which is the world of archetypes. So when you get to that level where you're just dealing straight with archetypes, you're dealing straight with language, the language of fire, all the fire rituals, fire elements. The only, you can say, energy you have to rely on is fire, aka pyromancy, because pyromancy is the forbidden art of fire, meaning you can divinize through the flames of pyromancy. Also, when the spirit makes a request, be prompt. Don't take your time. Know that you are not on your own time. When certain requests are made, fulfill them as soon as you possibly can. So whether it comes through dreams, whether it comes through meditation, if you get the inclination that something needs to be added to your altar, what have you, then you should do that immediately at your earliest convenience. Also, keep things sacred in the sense of don't show nobody what you're doing, and don't reveal your workings to anyone, because it's all about intimacy. Your magical workings should be intimate. I don't think people really realize that. Your magic is an extension of you. So all of your magical workings is you extending your energy beyond yourself, which is a very intimate process, right? Especially when we're talking about developing a relationship with spirits, this is very intimate. It's not really something that you're doing with somebody else, unless, again, you're doing tantric work, in which case that's fine, right? So unless you're doing tantric activity, which is everybody is in agreement with what's being done here, otherwise you just keep other people out of it. It's not really for them to understand your relationship with spirit anyway. Also, you must practice times of sobriety and also going crazy, meaning there are some times where you may see me drinking and smoking, but then there's other times where I'm not doing neither, right? Certain times during the year, certain seasons, I'm like, all right, it's time to put that down, or it's time to pick that up. So if you ever get the urge to put something up or put something down or pick something up, most likely it's spiritual, and take heed to it. But again, it's going to be also times where, like, all right, it's time to do something else. It's time to sober up, or it's time to, get twisted, whatever the case may be. Because again, when you are developing a relationship with spirit, certain desires may not be your own. The spirit may want a taste of the alcohol, but it's just through your vessel, right? The spirit may want a certain type of food, it's just through your vessel that is being accomplished, so that you get what you want in return as well. But again, it's a very intimate process, right? So it's really not to be shared with others what you're doing, because nobody really deserves to know what your desires are anyway. That ain't really something you need to share with the world or anybody, really, right? Because all they're going to do is bring their judgments and their opinions, and you don't need all that anyway. So you keep it to yourself. That way you don't have to deal with other people judging you, and just you keep it all intimate. So that means whatever happens, again, you're documenting it in your book of shadows, right? If you want to have your own language to the point where only you can read it, then by all means. But definitely make sure that you are documenting, because you want to be able to verify what you're doing is actually, moving accordingly. You want to be able to detect some type of movement towards, what you're working at. And if you pay attention to the signs, you will see the signs. But you have to be diligent. Again, you have to understand this. You're not moving on your time, you're moving on the Spirit's time. So if you're taking your time, then expect Spirit to take its time, right? So if you're moving on your own time, then expect the Spirit to move on its own time. If you move with a sense of urgency, then the Spirit will move with a sense of urgency. So you're basically setting the groundwork as to the speed and the timing of how things are done. Also, you want to make sure you're neat and organized, because the times when we be going crazy, shit can be, messy, right? You may have some messy nights. You got to clean up everything in the morning. So, as long as you just keep that discipline, no matter how crazy my nights are, I'm going to make sure get everything back in order in the morning. So, you put in your subconscious that everything is always neat, everything is always organized, right? That's just something you're programming your subconscious to activate. Especially when it comes to magic. People do this anyway, but you see when it comes to magic, things can get pretty chaotic. So that's what you have to pay extra special attention to your surroundings. Because again, you may be inspired here, inspired there, this happened. So it's easy for things to get piled up very easily. So you just want to make sure that things are always neat, things are always organized, things are always done in a business fashion. Always be on point with your business. That's another thing. Always be on point with your business. So even though you can say that's not nothing technically magical, but it helps out in your magic, you having a business sense. A business sense actually enhances your magical abilities, right? Just your ability to be organized, your ability to negotiate. The same way you're negotiating with human beings, the same way you will be negotiating with spirits. So your business sense actually helps out in the spirit world as well, right? So stay business-minded when you're dealing with the spirit, because the spirit will be dealing with you in a very business-minded manner as well, right? So those are just a couple little pointers there, to make your time a little easier. Stay on point, stay neat, stay organized, stay diligent, move immediately, right? Don't waste no time. Understand that the wand is your most powerful element. That's your most powerful tool. Because you can use a wand essentially in any dimension. But certain dimensions, essentially, you can't use the other elements. Meaning you can use a wand in any of the worlds. But once you get to the world of fire, the only element you have, the only tool you have will be the wand. Even though the wand can be in the fire, the water, the air, or the earth. But once you get up to the certain degrees, all you have is a wand. All you have is your true will. And that's the point of what we're working towards anyway, is to unlock the true will. So it's at the point where all you have is your true will, and that's your only option, right? Once you go into the realm of the archetypes, right? So hopefully that'll be useful. 93.